Hello everyone, this is the daily devotional video for October 6, 2017. Our passage for today is in the book of John, chapter 11. We're reading verses 1 through 27. Now a certain man was sick, Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary who anointed the Lord with fragrant oil and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore the sisters sent to him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom you love is sick. When Jesus heard that, he said, This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that he was sick, he stayed 2 more days in the place where he was. Then after this he said to the disciples, Let us go to Judea again. The disciples said to him, Rabbi, lately the Jews sought to stone you, and are you going there again? Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in a day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble because he sees the light of this world. But if one walks in the night, he stumbles because the light is not in him. These things he said, and after that he said to them, Our friend Lazarus sleeps, but I go that I may wake him up. Then his disciples said, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get well. However, Jesus spoke of his death, but they thought that he was speaking about taking rest in sleep. Then Jesus said to them plainly, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go to him. Then Thomas, who is called Didymus, said to his fellow disciples, Let us also go that we may die with him. So when Jesus came, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. Now Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away. And many of the Jews had joined the women around Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him, but Mary was sitting in the house. Then Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. Jesus said to her, Your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection to the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, Yes, Lord. I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is to come into the world. The title for today's devotional is When God is Silent. Have you ever felt as if God were giving you the silent treatment? Perhaps you prayed and asked Him to give you direction for your life, but you didn't hear a thing. Maybe you're going through some physical illness or a family problem and nothing's happening, even though you pleaded with God. How do you respond when the Lord doesn't appear to be answering your prayers? Do you take advantage of the opportunity to learn something from the experience? Sorry about that. Or do you simply conclude that He's ignoring you? Typical responses are disappointment, like God let me down. Discouragement, like I should stop praying. Confusion, where is God? Feelings of guilt, I did something wrong. Anger, God isn't faithful. And fear, like God has deserted me. Today's passage gives us a good example of a time when the Lord seemed unconcerned with the life of someone He loved. On hearing that his friend was sick and about to die, Jesus delayed doing anything for 2 days. His disciples and the dying man's sisters, Mary and Martha, no doubt wondered why Jesus seemed not to care. Yet they continued to trust him, and ultimately their faith was strengthened. When we can't hear God, it doesn't mean he's asleep or unaware of our circumstances. It also doesn't mean he's going to deny our requests. However, he wants us to have an intimate relationship with him that is independent of how he responds to our prayers. We must love him just because he is God. Consider the basis of your love for the Lord and ask him to help you make it unconditional. That is an awesome devotional. I love you guys so much. Have a blessed day. Have a great day. And hope to see you back here again tomorrow.